you getting a new puppy and want to start training the right way? Or are you already training your dog? It's important to train your dog to strengthen the bond between the two of you and to keep them mentally engaged. There are, however, certain mistakes that tend to show up with various dog owners. These are the 10 most common dog training mistakes. First, 1. Not rewarding behavior. On many occasions, I see dog owners not rewarding their dog for good or even great behavior. Either they don't have treats with them, they didn't see the behavior, or they just don't feel like it. If I then ask the dog owner why they didn't reward the dog, I often get answers like, well, he knows what to do, or he only did it because he wanted a treat. It is very important to reward the behaviors you want to enforce in your dog. At the moment, it might be the case that he only acts that way because of the treats you're holding, but he needs feedback. This can be phased out once the behavior becomes natural. But give it time. Some people do reward their dog with their voice, but not every dog gets the same feedback from just a voice. If, in your dog's mind, your voice isn't linked to a reward, he won't get the positive feedback you want him to. Some owners tend to seek out excuses for not rewarding their dog. Sometimes I hear things like, yeah, it took him 4 calls before he came back to me, or he did all the previous things wrong, so he isn't getting the reward. But especially in these cases, it's very important to do reward your dog. Because if you reward him, he'll have reason to, next time, do it immediately. 2. Bad timing. Timing is key in dog training. Your dog will link the reward to the last behavior he performed. So, for example, if you want to treat your dog for doing a sit, you ask him to sit, and just before you give him the treat, he stands up and you reward him. Then, actually, you're rewarding the dog for standing up when he hears the noise of your treats. So, the timing is really, really important in this case. Because of this, some people prefer clicker training. In my opinion, your voice can be exactly as valuable as a clicker if you time it right. It can be even more valuable since you can use intonation with your voice, which can be used with a clicker. By saying yes or good boy after a behavior, you buy yourself a few seconds to take the treat and give it to your dog. In the first training sessions, however, make sure to keep treats at hand. This way you'll be a lot faster for rewarding your dog. 3. Not generalizing. Dogs are bad at generalizing. Because of this, you'll often hear people saying, yeah, but he knows how to sit, he does it inside my house, but he doesn't do it out here. Though this might seem strange for humans, it's actually pretty common in dog training. To make sure your dog behaves everywhere, you need to really train him in lots of different places. Though this might seem strange for humans, it's actually pretty common in dog training. If you want your dog to listen to you everywhere, you should really train in as much places as possible. By training this way, it will become clear to your dog that the command means the same thing in every place he comes. 4. Waiting too long before starting. Oh, that is such a cute puppy. I'll teach him when he gets older. People sometimes put off training a dog until he's a little bit older. But as they say, what's learned in the cradle is taken to the tomb. Teaching your puppy when he's still very young builds a solid foundation on which you can build your further training sessions. You should not put any pressure on your puppy, but a few training sessions early on, I take a few minutes every day just to train my puppy, will give you a head start in bonding with your new companion. 5. Not being consistent. One of the most common dog training mistakes is not being consistent. Most often, people don't even realize they're not being consistent. But picture this, you wake up in the morning and you're very eager to go and greet your puppy. He's a little enthusiastic, so he puts his paw on your leg. You pat him on the back and put him on the ground. But later that day, when you come home after a long day of work, you don't want your puppy to put his paws on your nice clothes. But for your puppy, there's no difference. It doesn't matter what clothes you're wearing. So, one moment you're patting him on the back, the other you're pushing him away. It's about 50-50 whether he gets patted or shoved away. So he might just take the odds. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button if you want to stay tuned for next videos. 6. Putting too much pressure on your dog. When training your dog, don't put too much pressure on them. Training must be pleasant for them to get anything out of it. Pressure, just like with humans, leads to stress, which isn't beneficial for learning. Give your dog time and space to understand what you ask from him. And if he doesn't understand, be gentle. Guide him into the right behavior and reward him. In the long run, this will have far more positive results. 7. Punishing your dog. Some people tend to punish their dogs when they do something wrong. These punishments can range from yelling to them, to hitting them, to just ignoring the dog. In my opinion, punishment is one of the worst things you can use in dog training. Not only can it make your dog insecure, it can also ruin the bond between you and your dog. If your dog makes a mistake and you punish him, you just feed insecurity. Maybe he just didn't understand what you asked of him. And if you aren't there to help him out, then how can he trust you? Be sure to keep it positive and help your dog if he doesn't understand what you ask him to do. This way, he'll know you'll always have his back. 8. Recalling only for unpleasant things. Many dog owners experience trouble with recalling their dog. In my opinion, this is one of the most important commands you can teach your dog. One of the main reasons dog owners tend to have problems with recalling is because the only time they ask their dog to recall is for unpleasant things. Like when they need to be put on leash, when you're leaving a dog park, when you go to the vet. Make sure to recall your dog more often for fun games, like a game of tug of war, or when at a dog park. Just recall your dog, reward him, and then let him play some more. If you train like this, your dog will understand that a recall isn't necessarily followed by anything unpleasant. 9. Treating every dog the same. Just like with humans, every dog is different. Which also means that there can be a different optimal training for a different dog. In dog classes, it's very important to recognize these differences. Some dogs might be more food motivated, while others might prefer some playtime. Acknowledging these differences is a first step in being a great dog trainer. 10. Not giving all your attention to it. When training your dog, make sure you're fully committed to it. You should be present with your mind before engaging in dog training sessions. If your mind keeps wandering off, you won't be able to provide your dog with the right feedback for an optimal training session. Because of this, keep training sessions short. On top of this, if you let your mind wander off, your dog will probably do the same. You're not engaged in this training session, so neither will he. So he will just seek out other things to do, like sniffing around. One little surplus. One extra common dog training mistake that people tend to make is explaining everything in human language to a dog. A dog doesn't understand human language. He only understands the words you teach him. So, instead of explaining with your voice, guiding your dog gently to which behavior you want him to will probably have more success. If you like this video and want to stay tuned to the next videos, please hit the subscribe button below.